This episode is sponsored by Skillshare. At the end of this video, we'll tell you all about how to create videos just like this, learn new skills, or unlock new opportunities. The first 1,000 people to use the promo link in the description will get their first 2 months with Skillshare absolutely free. Backed by popular demand is another list of high-paying jobs that you may not have known were so lucrative. According to US Census Bureau data, just over 20% of American households bring in over $100,000 a year. If that's a target you aspire to hit, then listen closely to this show. The list we have compiled, similar to our previous surprisingly high-paying jobs list, will consist of the pros and cons of each job. We'll also include some details of how you can end up working in these jobs and start living large on your 6-figure salary. We say living large, but in some parts of the USA, $100,000 alone, according to research, will cover only life's necessities if you desire to join the ranks of the middle class. Join us on this tour of employment in this episode of the Infographic Show, 10 Surprisingly High-Paying Jobs, Part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. Number 10. Air Traffic Controller. How would you like to have the lives of hundreds of people in your hands every day? Well, if you become an air traffic controller, you can do just that. It's well known to be a stressful job, and that's one of the reasons mandatory retirement is at 56 years old. You'll be paid well, with the median salary in 2016 being $122,410 per year. Although a university degree would help, you can land the job, excuse the pun, and be employed without one. Not surprisingly, you'll have to pass a lot of background tests and also pass exams after taking a course at the Federal Aviation Administration Academy. Number 9. Garbage Collector. You'll know from our show on the most dangerous jobs that being a garbage collector is not only sometimes smelly, but leads to an early grave for scores of Americans each year. That's why you get paid the big bucks. The US Bureau of Labor has the average wage for refuse collector at just $37,690, which can go up to more than $60,000. But hold on, do this same job in New York City and you could be earning 6 figures according to a recent story by CNN. It interviewed 2 high school dropouts, both making $112,000 and $100,000 as a driver and collector respectively. To get the job, you are required to have done some high school, but no formal qualifications are needed. You will of course need to learn the ropes, and once that's done, you're good to go. Number 8. Equities Trader. No university degree? No problem. In fact, this is one of many jobs in which autodidacts, people who teach themselves, can earn lots of cash. Employment site Glassdoor states that most equities traders earn in the region of $70,000 to $80,000 a year. But according to a financial careers website, that wage is a starting wage, and once you get going, you could easily be earning more than $150,000 a year. You may need to take an internship or an analyst program, but a degree is not required if you are self-taught and have a good knowledge of how finance and the economy work. Math and business acumen will help too. You may also need to get a license from the National Association of Securities Dealers to start trading. Number 7. Butler. Have you ever fancied a job working in a Downton Abbey kind of environment? Being a butler might not be for some, but if you are going to work at the side of the super rich, you get paid well for it. Not surprisingly, many butlers are trained in the UK but then head back to places like New York City, and you might be paid a wage of over $100,000. You will also usually get free food, a roof over your head, and sometimes a car. According to the International Butler Academy, age is not important, and surprisingly, neither is background. All you're required to take their intensive 10-week course is a working knowledge of English and a service-oriented attitude. You'll study etiquette and butler protocol, and then after that, if you pass, you are on your way to donning a pair of white gloves and talking posh. According to the Academy, your first year on the job you'll earn around $59,000, but with experience, that can reach $153,000. Who knew Jeeves was such a high roller? Number 6. Ethical Hacker. What's an ethical hacker, you might ask? It's someone who is hired by a company to see if their system is penetrable. As you know, hackers are often people who didn't take the formal route in educating themselves. Some of them go to the dark side, known as black hats, and some hack for the common good, white hats. To be an ethical hacker and be employed by a company, you may need certification if you are not already well known for your hacking skills. There are tests you can take, but those can be taken without formal training. The test should take about 4 hours. If you pass, you'll start off on at least $76,000 a year, but according to employment websites, that can go up to $152,000 once you prove your worth. According to one ethical hacker, the worst thing about the job is telling your customer they have already been hacked and all their clients' data is vulnerable. Number 5. Private Investigator. This is perhaps the most exciting and intriguing job on this list, but how would you ever get into this profession? Well, it helps if you are an ex-cop, not only because of the skills you have honed, but also because of access to information and knowing the right people. According to the Criminal Justice Degree School, you don't need any formal qualifications, but you may need to take a PI course, get a license to practice, have background checks, and get yourself a firearms license. According to the same site, you might start on just over $45,000 a year, but that could soon become $85,000. Get in with the rich and famous, and who knows what you could earn. Number 4. Nuclear power reactor operator. This job can be hazardous given that you're working with nuclear power, and that's one of the reasons why the wage is pretty high. You don't, however, require a degree to land the job. You may have to do some technical school, or start at the bottom of a nuclear plant and work your way up. You may need a high school diploma, but this job is mainly about on-the-job training. Most websites state the yearly salary to be from $50,000 to $80,000, but you could potentially earn over $100,000, especially if you work in the private sector. Number 3, submarine chef. If you don't want to work in a nuclear plant, what about being a nuclear submarine chef? In the US, the Navy will even teach you how to cook after you've spent 9 weeks in Navy boot camp. The British Royal Navy's website has the starting wage at around $60,000, but one article in the Australian media stated that with 6 years experience, a senior chef can be earning over $140,000 US dollars. Glassdoor has the average US wage for this job at $111,000 with tips and bonuses on top of that. If you can handle it, this is how you could earn good cash. There isn't even too much you can spend it on while you're at work. Number 2, professional snuggler. Yes, you heard that right. At Snuggle Buddies in the US, they tell you don't need any qualifications for this job. Most of their snugglers or cuddlers are female, and most of their clients are men over the age of 50. You just need to be 18 or over and able to make people feel loved in your warm embrace. You'll get $60 an hour for your efforts, and you can add a 10 to 20% tip to that. If you can build a large client list and work 8 hours a day, that's $480 a day. But you'd have to travel, so let's say you work 4 hours a day for $240 a day. That's $1,200 a week, $4,800 a month, and $57,600 a year, with maybe another 10 grand in tips. That's not too bad for snuggling. Number 1, sommelier. Tasting wine or just knowing all about wine and making a living out of it might be one of the best jobs in the entire world. If you can pass the incredibly hard exam, you'll be given the title of Master Sommelier. After that, you could be on your way to being paid $150,000 a year according to the Guild of Sommeliers Salary Survey of 2014. The exam is so hard, people sometimes take it 6 times, and even documentaries have been made about its difficulty. Nonetheless, even an advanced sommelier will earn in the region of $70,000 to $80,000 a year. You don't need any formal qualifications, but you will need to read and study wine and pass exams to get your certification. If you are looking to level up your skills so that you make more money or just get better at what you do, then you should check out Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 17,000 classes in design, editing, and more. I get asked daily by our viewers how they can make videos like ours. Well, the truth is, if you look at my videos from a few years ago, they weren't all that great. But I've worked on learning to be a better designer and animator with lessons from Skillshare. One of my favorite classes is taught by Fraser Davidson, a professional animator for Fox Sports, ESPN, and the NFL. He teaches you how to do simple character animations that are as good as any cartoon. If something like that is too advanced for you, you can check out how to get started with motion graphics with After Effects for beginners. Since Skillshare is sponsoring this video, the first 1,000 viewers to use the promo link in the description will get their first 2 months to try it out absolutely free. But don't think Skillshare only teaches you how to animate and edit. They have amazing classes on web development, game design, marketing, and even productivity. Premium membership gives you unlimited access so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. So, if you want to learn something new or improve your skills, try Skillshare. The links in the description will take you to the promotion. We'll end it on that note and hope that some of you have been inspired by the jobs we've mentioned. Which of these jobs would you choose? Or, if any of you actually work in one of these jobs, let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video called What $1 Million Gets You Around the World. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time!